Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Satguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai. Just a quick check on the audio. It's good. Audio and video. Not very clear audio. Okay. A bit louder. Okay, I'll speak a bit loud. Maybe there's a setting for that. How's it now? Louder? Okay, it's good. Keep it closer. There's a nice feature in Zoom which allows you to raise your hand. And I already see one hand which is raised is Shivani. Shivani, you can ask. Oh, 3 hands raised. Okay.
I was just testing how does that work.
Okay.
But I'm very happy to see you again.
Same, but we don't get to see you.
I actually just joined as a guest and I don't know how to.
You have a camera on the device you're using?
Yes.
Let's see if you can start video.
Can you see me?
There you are. Hello. No question?
No, I don't have a specific question. I was just testing how that hand works.
This is good. So then Sunil has a question. Sunil can come. So his hand went down. So we're all getting used to the technology, I guess.
Still struggling.
Anshuman is speaking.
Yeah, still struggling. Yeah, good to see you.
Same.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I met you on the roadside outside Mududi for Satsang, and I've been following you ever since.
Oh, wonderful.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Master, I rise and I fall, I rise and I fall, and I rise and I fall.
It seems like you get it and then you lose it. Is it like that? What does it mean?
Yeah, you're there for some time, you lose it, you're there for some time, you lose it as you walk through the samsara and you come across things, things change again, then you're there, you feel the self, and then it's lost again. The permanence or the calmness on the lake doesn't stay. The ripples come and go time and again.
Yes. Let's look at this. Let's look at this closely. Now there's this wall behind me.
Yeah.
Now suppose that this wall, it changed color. You see, like every phenomena, this wall also changed color. So it's white, then it became yellow, then it became black, then it became white again. You see. Now, to report that this change is happening, mustn't there be something which is constant? Mustn't there be a witness of the wall which is reporting that the state becomes shaky and it becomes calm, shaky and it becomes calm? Now, what happens to that which is witnessing this, both these?
That witness and the so-called ego or I are at times the same and at times not the same. You things happen, reactions because of maybe your conditioning or my whatever it is. It comes, it goes. Okay, those reactions used to last days together. Those are maybe for minutes or seconds now, but yes, they're there still.
Yes, yes. So, right now, is there the witness or is there the ego?
Right now is the witness because you are standing in front.
Yes. Now, this witness, can it really change? In what way does the witness change?
The witness stays static.
Stays unchanging. So
Yeah, the ego is not there.
if the witnessing stays unchanging, then can it ever really become the ego? Is it? Or is that which we are calling ego just another appearance which is coming and going?
Of course, it's that is clear that the ego, what we see, is more of a projection of this world, or what you expect out of the world, or what world expects out of so-called being or whatever it is. But the witness stays where it is. At times you feel they merge. At times you feel they disappear. They're separated again.
Okay. What is your position in relation to this witness?
A ping pong ball.
Ah. So the witness is not you. You are witnessing also the witness. Is that what it is?
Uh, Maybe yes, 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 yes.
Just let's look at it now. You're looking at the screen.
Right.
The screen could change color.
It
Some
can.
beautiful can come, some terrible image can come. What is
Mhm.
perceived on this screen?
Perception. The image which I see, or what, if I see it as I or the ego, it is different when I see it. If I think it's a witness seeing, it's different. So it is me as a ping pong ball. Is it either the witness or the I?
Okay, very slowly. Let's look very slowly together. Now,
Yeah.
try to see it, try to see it as the ego. What will change in the image?
Everything changes depending on what the ego wants to see.
Okay, change it now. Be the ego and change the image on the screen.
I see you as the witness.
Huh? Did
I'm
the
not getting
image,
your question, Ananta-ji. I'm not getting your question again. Come again, please.
you say that the image of perception also changes
Yeah.
depending on whether I am the ego or whether I am the
Yeah.
witness. You see? I
I'll
am
give you a
asking,
small example. I'll give you a
I'll,
small example of. Yeah,
let
yeah.
me,
Sorry.
let me make it very specific for you. Is it that the image changes or is it that the interpretation changes?
The interpretation changes.
See, the movie is the same, but the subtitle changes.
Absolutely.
You see? The
Yeah.
subtitle changes. And who is doing the subtitling? That which we call the mind.
Absolutely right.
So the movie is just the movie, but the way it is interpreted is the nature of the mind to interpret it this way or that way. But what is
Yes.
always remains as what is.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
But that what is at times disturbs me or the ego.
let's
Sorry.
look at it very closely again together. This is very good. This is very good already. You say that the appearance remains the appearance, but it is the subtitling, the interpretation, the way I am labeling these images that changes.
Yes.
So right now you're looking at this screen, and the voice of the
Right.
interpreter could come
Yes.
and make various judgments about this. Is it?
Perfect.
How do you
Yes.
engage with this? How do you engage with this voice of the interpreter?
You see the interpreter at times. What I feel, I'll just tell you. It is event is happening or the movie is going, and there's something which says no, this is not right. But
Yes.
then the ping pong ball goes to the witness or says, okay, this is the movie going on. Your reaction to it or the mind reading was wrong. So this is it. And here the calmness comes again. Am I making sense?
Yes, my dear, yes. But I want to show you something which is beyond calmness. You see, beyond calmness or turmoil. Because we can have this idea that freedom means I must come to a place of calmness. Actually, freedom means the simple allowing of all things to come and go. You see, all states to come and go. Freedom itself is not a state. You see? So now we already said that the image is just the image. It is the interpretation which keeps changing. You see? Now this is the energy construct that we call the mind. The energy construct called thoughts. Isn't it? So this one is saying,
Yeah.
I am getting this. Or it could be saying, I'm not getting this. Now there are two
Right.
forces that interact with this energy construct called thought. The first is the force called attention, isn't it?
Yes.
So when attention goes to
Yes.
something, it seems to come to life. Only that which has your attention seems to exist for you, isn't it?
Perfect.
Now
Yeah.
the
You
thought,
mentioned in your book that is beautiful. Yeah.
good, good, good. So the thought
Mhm.
comes and says, I am in uh, Johannesburg, South Africa right now. The thought comes. You see, attention also goes to it. You see, but there's another force called belief, another power called belief, the power to give our assent to something and to say it has some truth value, you see, that this is true. So if the thought came in your mind right now, saying that you are in South Africa, would that be believed?
Yeah. No,
You see?
because I
So
won't pay attention to that.
yes. So even if attention goes, if you keep looking at the thought, I'm in South Africa, I'm in South Africa, even if you keep looking at it, you see, just merely by giving your belief, it has not become part of your conditioning, it has not become part of your identity. You see?
Yes.
So this allowing that the Zen masters speak about, to allow all thoughts to come and go, but don't serve them tea, only means this. You see? Because this is completely unstable, you see. Our belief system, our conditions, what we want, what we don't want, all of this is the voice of the interpreter and it is constantly changing. You see, so we can expect no stability if we keep believing this voice.
Yes.
Now the question is, why should I not believe this voice? It's a good question to ask, isn't it? The voice comes and many will say, but this voice is trying to help me. So why should I not believe it? You see? The answer to that is because what this voice is referring to you as is that it is referring to you as if you are a limited entity in some way,
Yes.
as if you are restricted by your body mind in some way.
Yes.
But when you look you will not find such a me, actually. The ego does not have a tangible existence even at a phenomenal level.
Yes.
So it
It
is
doesn't.
only belief in the limitation that I am something, which means I am something limited, which creates this idea of a separate something that I am. And because there is only one voice, which is the voice of the mind, which is telling us that you are something limited. Is it?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you
I'm here. I'm here.
Why is that somebody else is on your line? Okay. So this voice is always telling us that you are something limited, I am something limited, I want this, I don't want that, I need this, I want freedom, I don't want material things, or I want material things. All this voice is this voice of the interpreter. See? And you've already seen that two primal powers interact with this energy construct called thoughts. This is the power of attention and the power of belief. So noticing this itself is very helpful to start with. Is it? Now we can return to our question, which was, what is it that witnesses the imagery on the screen of consciousness, all this imagery of the phenomenal world, and also witnesses what this mind is saying, what these thoughts are saying? What is that?
I didn't get the question, Ananta, again.
Yes, my dear, that's okay. We can take our time.
Yeah.
I'm saying there is something that
Hmm.
witnesses all the imagery on the phenomenal screen. You see, all
Right.
this, you see, and also witnesses, perceives what thoughts are saying. You see, which one is that one?
That is,
Perceives the phenomenon
for me, yeah.
and
For
perceives
me,
even
it is.
thought.
For me, it is the same, which actually just allows anything this body mind is doing when I'm even operating on a case. That is, I become an instrument that time
Okay.
of whatever is to be delivered.
Now, this, when you say I become, which I are you referring to?
I, the surrender, the I which surrenders totally.
What is
But
it?
to permanently stay that stage is something which is not happening.
First, let's investigate this I some more and then see if something needs
Yes,
to be done. Is it? First, let's
yes,
investigate I some more and then see if something
yeah,
for this I. You see? Now, if you did not bother about what the interpreter is saying for some time and you relied only on your insight,
hmm,
if you did not rely on the interpreter's voice, the mind's voice for some
right.
time, and you just relied on your own inner insight, what do you say about this one that witnesses all this phenomenal movement?
Well, is the self or the existence is just living through this body, whom I refer to as I at times because it's been boosted up from whatever is going on till now of this living body.
This presence,
The
this presence, what are its qualities? What are the qualities of this presence or the attributes of this presence?
this presence cannot be disturbed by small things or the mundane things of life.
Not be disturbed. So this presence already is here, which cannot be disturbed.
Yes,
Now,
is there.
at what distance are you from this presence?
Not very far.
How
Not
much?
very far.
Not very far still means some distance. This much, this much, this
Difference
much.
is there.
Huh?
Is there. The difference is there. The difference is there. The
Yes. How much?
distance is there. To quantify is the different. Difficult to
Just
quantify it.
okay, okay. Just check in your presence. What is outside of this presence? What is
Nothing.
outside of this presence? Nothing. If nothing is
Yeah.
outside of this presence, then where are you?
With that nothing.
With that
With that
nothing.
nothing more.
Is
Talking
that
to you and putting it across, talking to you and the way you're putting it across, the presence is there, it's staying. It is staying. Since morning, I've been very restless, and I knew you're going to be there on the screen. I will be able to talk to you. I don't know why it was happening, but it's happening. But yes, the presence is there, not very far. Right now, I'm there. I hope it lasts.
okay? Now, don't try to hang on to the presence. In fact, try to stop the presence. Can you stop being?
Oh, I can become I.
You can pose as if you are Anshuman. Can you actually
Yeah.
become? Can the being actually change? That which is, you say, without attributes, without qualities, can that actually become something else? You see? Or it can
No,
only.
you can't. The moment you become, then you start feeling everything about Father.
Yeah.
And the Father came naturally.
Yeah.
I said the Father came naturally.
So what you do
Yeah.
is, don't try to stay with the presence. In fact, make the presence go away, push it away, become the I within satsang itself. Okay? And when you
Yeah.
succeed in becoming the I, then you come back up and you tell me what you had to do to become the I again.
Yes. I will.
Okay, my dear. Thank you. I'll wait for you to come back.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I will.
Okay, there's another hand. Shubhra, you have your hand up again, my dear. You can come. Shubhra, do you have a question? You have to unmute first. Okay,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, my dear.
Okay, namaste. It's
Namaste, my
my pleasure to be connected with you. Actually, my question is, I just want to know
Before
how
you start,
important it is to keep my mind busy all the day. Actually, I approached you on Facebook asking the same question some time ago. It was like, um, I tried doing meditation and listen to all the pointings, but later on, like I start feeling like it is very important to have a fixed schedule kind of day so that my mind doesn't take me back to the normal conditioning. Like we need to have something of that sort. Is it very important?
before I answer this question, I wanted to share something funny with you. I know that you tested the Zoom platform the other day, and then something happened where maybe you forgot to switch it off, but you were talking to
Okay.
your friend, maybe your husband or friend or something.
Yeah.
And then she was sharing very beautifully because she was talking about the I am and the perceiving. And I heard a few minutes of that. It was very nice, actually.
Thank you.
And, so she says that, is it important for me to keep checking on my mind all day long? Something like this.
Yeah. Let me just sit here so that I...
There you are. If you had to do it, for what purpose would you be doing it?
like my own satisfaction.
Now, if you were not doing this, are you unsatisfied?
Sometimes I am.
So, coming to this witnessing perspective, where you're just looking at your thoughts, seems to give you some peace. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And does it seem very natural for you as you do it?
Yeah, of course. It really comes up very natural.
It's just very natural. So, on one hand, I can tell you that yes, there is nothing wrong with something like this. Just looking at how the thoughts are flowing, it's a good thing. But don't pick up the concept that your freedom is dependent on that. Because you are free right now. You see? Freedom means what? No bondage. So, right now, is there some bondage?
No.
If you were to try and become bound, let me give you an example. Right now, in this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, is there a Shubhra?
Not really.
Yeah. Not really or not at all?
Not at all.
Not at all. So this moment there is no Shubhra. And if I tell you that all bondage would belong to this non-existent Shubhra, all conditions, all desires, all likes, all dislikes would belong to this non-existent entity called Shubhra. Is it? So first, to be bound, I must have the concept that I am this limited entity, isn't it? Are you with me? I can repeat if you like.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Now, is the effort in playing as Shubhra, is the effort in playing as Shubhra, or is the effort in being free from Shubhra?
Yeah, to be Shubhra is more effort to be put. To be Shubhra.
More effort. This is good, and I hope everyone is hearing this. It is more effort to try and be something or somebody than to not be anything or nobody. So, God, or you can say Guruji, is the best cleaning lady in the world. In this moment, all our conditions, all our identity, all that troubles us is wiped clean. Isn't it? Now what happens is that there comes this offer. The offer comes from the mind saying that you buy me as a concept and you will get something which you don't have already. But in this moment, you are already all there is. And yet, in the play of this realm, in the play of this Maya, consciousness itself starts to play with this offer and say, okay, I will go with what you are selling. And when we pick up a concept that I am something limited, I could be the best person, the most spiritual person, the most accomplished person, the most wealthy person, the most healthy person. And yet, this idea is not the truth, because I can never be a person. The person is just an idea, a set of beliefs that I have about myself. So you say naturally, all of this is gone. In this moment, if I don't give you a moment to think also, you will not be able to show me any trouble. You will not even be able to reply with anything about yourself unless I give you some time to think about it. Is it?
But there is always that time to think about it. How to get rid of that time?
Yes, yes. This is it. You see? So we see that naturally we are free. In every moment, this simple no bondage, freedom is here. And yet, because these thoughts continue to come, they seem to have some power and seem to create this idea that I am a limited entity. So, what to do when these thoughts come? You see? So, very simply, I could tell you, let these thoughts come and go. Let them come and go. But then you could say, yes, that's easy to say. But when they come strong, I can't let them come and go. Isn't it? Then I could say, okay, you use the inquiry, as Bhagwan said, and inquire, who is the witness of even this thought? You see? If surrender is not happening, if the letting go is not happening, and it seems like thoughts still have a lot of power over us, then we can inquire and say, who witnesses this thought? Then you will find that the thought starts to lose its power. If that is also not happening, you see, you could say, not just for you, but for everyone. You see, we are exploring why spirituality is this way. If it was just to do with letting go, forget about it. You see? Then why so many sages have given so many different practices? You see? So we looked at first letting go. Just allow all thoughts to come and go. Like I like to say, don't believe your next thought. Is all. Just don't believe your next thought. But over 4 years, I've constantly heard the response saying, but I can't not believe. You see? I seem to keep giving my belief to these thoughts, especially when they push some special buttons about relationship or money or something. All of us have these special buttons. You see? Then I could say, okay, inquire, who is it that is witnessing these thoughts? Who witnesses the thought? Then we can look like that. Some say, Ananta, I can't even inquire. I can't even inquire. So then a sage will say, okay, if inquiry also, you can't even ask who is it that I am or who witnesses these thoughts, then you chant this particular mantra that I give you. You chant. So the sage will say, chant this mantra. Then some will say, oh no, mantra, I have no patience. I have no patience for mantra chanting. And say, okay, can you just bring your attention to your breath and just stay with your breath? In breath, out breath. You see? Some will say just, they call it, the Buddhists will call this mindfulness. Some will say, not even this I can do. Some will say, even this I cannot do. So then I say, okay, to give you some peace of mind, can you sing something devotional? Can you sing a bhajan? Can you sing some chants? Some will say, no, even this I cannot do. Then you say, okay, just pray. Don't even sing. Just pray. Ask for help. ask for peace. I say, no, 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 even prayer, who are we praying to? What's going on? I don't like it. What is this prayer thing? You see? And say, okay, you can't even pray. Do some hatha yoga. Move your body around in certain ways so that, because the body and the mind are interrelated, all the energy constructs in this world are interrelated. So when you move your body in a certain way, then also it has some effect on the breath and the mind and everything. So do move the body in this way. Then some, in fact, one actually told me, no, no, even this I cannot do. I cannot even do hatha yoga. Then to them I say, okay, just go to sleep today and then tomorrow we talk. So what is all of it about? So I'm saying it trivially, but the simplicity of it is that all of it is about us not falling for the idea that the mind is selling us. To just come to this simple allowing of the mind to come and go is what all spiritual practices are about. So it is not that we have to find the self. The self is what you are. If the self was coming and going, then that self would not be a worthy self. The self already is. It is what you are. The point of satsang is for consciousness to stop playing with the idea of being something limited, with the idea of being the ego. And consciousness is playing this game, this lila, this maya in this way, where consciousness first plays in the game of delusion, deluding itself to be something limited, and then stepping out of this game. But even the stepping out, it wants to do with full juice, you see, it wants to extract some joy even from this stepping out of this delusion. That's why it creates this satsang, it creates all these various practices for itself to play with and come to the simple idea, I am what I am. That's why I ask you, can you stop being?
Never.
Not stop being. So if this being cannot be stopped, is it? This being is Atma, is consciousness, is I am. It has no phenomenal limits. All phenomena arises within it. All time and space arises in your space of being. Have you ever had the experience of something when this presence was not there? When you were not there as I am?
No.
You must be there for any experience to happen. Therefore, this truth of you is unchanging. So, coming back to your original question, if you feel like doing a particular thing, like a practice like watching your thoughts, gives you some peace, it is very good. But don't let the mind convince you that you are unfree and you have to do something to get to freedom. Right now, in this moment, there is no difference, no separation, no two here. We are one.
I just want to know that is it more practice is needed to be in that state where I could not feel that my mind is overshadowing myself? Like it needs more practice, or I don't know, because I'm just sometimes overshadowed by mind at later on today, because when I'm free, I'm like, I should be doing something more. Either I'm not worth it, like things like these came inside.
One, firstly, know that you are never really overshadowed by the mind, never truly overshadowed by the mind. The mind is just one aspect of your consciousness. The mind is also an aspect of you. You see? which consciousness itself has designed so that it can play with this world as if it is an individual. You see? So the finger can never be more powerful than the hand. So the mind is also a finger on your hand. So it can never really overpower you. Then whatever you practice, whatever you play, becomes more playful, becomes more natural. Otherwise, there can be too much feverishness about it. There can be the sense, oh, I have to do the practice, otherwise I'll get overwhelmed with my mind. We operate from a state of fear. So I want to take away that fear from you and tell you that nothing can ever overwhelm what you are. It is just like a shadow. The ego is nothing but a shadow. The shadow itself doesn't have power. That which looks at the shadow and gives it the belief that it has some power, you see, that makes the shadow seem powerful. It is just like this. The mind is harmless if we allow it to just come and go. Even when we believe it, it is only the picking up of the pretense of personhood, of the pose, of the role. You see? You might, because of the mind, you might pick up the idea that you are a limited entity, but it can never become your reality. You are unlimited being, whether there is mind or not, whether there is belief in the mind or not also. In every moment you are free. Before you start the practice, are you bound or free?
Sorry?
Before you can start a practice, are you bound or are you free?
Before actually starting, I'm bound, but gradually I start seeing myself.
Yes, it seems like that. Investigate this. You see? Like in every moment, can you truly be bound? In any moment. Can any appearance bind you? Even if you're angry, frustrated, full of rage, or you're full of joy, bliss, peace, that which you are, in either case, is it bound or free? That which perceives all of this movement of anger and joy, frustration and bliss, all of this is perceived. That which perceives it, can that ever truly be bound?
No.
Now that which tells you that you are still something limited, that there is still something for you to do, you see, that is the voice of the mind. And I've told you what to do with that. Just let it go if you can. And if you can't, then I've told you till Hatha Yoga and going to sleep what to do. All the possible spiritual practices I've defined for you. So this is the only thing. You are always the self. You are always the being. This being emerges from within yourself and dissolves within yourself. This is the unchanging truth. Now the thoughts come and tell you that you are something limited. And what to do with those thoughts? You can inquire into them and say, who is it? Like what? Take an example of a thought that troubles you.
What troubles me the most is like, am I good enough? Like, this is the thought that comes out after some time. Am I good enough? Am I doing things that I should be doing? So that's the thought which troubles me the most.
Very good. This is very good to see this, because many people who are in spirituality finding themselves are plagued with this thought of unworthiness. Oh, freedom is there, but it must be only for those special ones. Is it really for me? Am I worthy of this freedom? Is it this kind of? So this thought troubles you. So you take it into your inquiry and say, who is this I who could be unworthy? Who could that I be that is unworthy? Does it have any existence right now? This I that could be unworthy, where is this one? See, so like that we can take these thoughts which trouble us, and you will see that most of the thoughts that trouble us, if not all, they have a very limited idea of I as a limited entity who is unworthy, who is guilty, who is fearful. Then we use that into our inquiry and say, who is it that could be unworthy? What is the I that is unworthy? And as you inquire into it with some of these sticky thoughts, don't leave the inquiry. You see? Keep it up for as long, whenever you get some time. Just stay with the inquiry till the thought, when it comes, it becomes laughable. You see? So when the thought comes and says, no, 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 you are very unworthy, or I am very unworthy, you will see that once it loses all of its juice, it will become laughable. You see? So inquire into it and don't make it like a trivial inquiry. Don't just say, yeah, I know there is nobody, actually, I know. Not like that. Just stay with it. Let the thought come. Let attention go to the thought, I am unworthy or am I worthy? Then look and see who is the I who could be worthy or unworthy. And stay in that looking and confirm to yourself that there is no such limited entity who could be unworthy. And next time when the thought comes, see if it still has some juice. Then you use it in your inquiry again. If it comes and you just smile at it and laugh at it and say, what are you talking about? You see? Like that. Then you know it has lost its power. So for most of us, in the human condition, most of us, we have two or three main buttons like this on our remote control. Unworthiness or some relationship or something. So simple inquiry like this can take away all the power from these thoughts, which are referring to you as if you are something very small.
Thank you so much for giving such useful advice. I'll surely follow that. And it's really my pleasure to be associated with you.
Thank
I have
you.
been following the teachings and pointings of Nidhi, and I just came across you a few days back and read about you. It's really my pleasure to be connected to you.
Thank you, my
Thank you.
dear. Thank you, my dear. It's a complete joy.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's one last question for today, and it is from Anil. You can come, my dear.
Namaskar. Can you hear me, Father?
Yes, yes, my dear. I can.
No. Uh, I just wanted to ask, what should the body pains be treated?
What should the
How should body pain be treated? Body pain. I have too much toothache, and I want to know like where to get it or where to deal with it.
Okay, my dear, there's a lot of disturbance from your line. So we'll just mute you while I'm answering.
What,
I get the question. I'll just answer it while I put on mute.
uh,
His question was
is it
how.
better now? Father, is it better now?
It is a bit better.
Okay, I just wanted to ask how to treat the body pains.
Yes, yes. Yes, I got the question, my dear. We'll just put you on mute while I answer it, and then you can come back
Okay.
and say. So his question is, how should one deal with pain in the body? So I'm going to take a bit of a longer route to answer this question. Because it is very important for those of you who have been in satsang for a while to get a little bit more clarity on our position with respect to the body. What is our true position in relation to this body? And for that, we must rely on our insights of this body. How is this body experienced? So you experience the body visually. Look at the hands, your feet, your body. And also you experience the body sensationally, as a set of sensations. And because these sensations seem so intimate to us, it is a popular belief that I am something which is contained within this body. But I want all of us to look together at this and see whether it is the body that contains your being, your presence, or whether it is the presence which contains the body. So allow yourself to experience the sensations of this body. And notice where these sensations are experienced. Let's use the term space of experiencing for a while. Are the sensations of the body not experienced in the same space of experiencing as you are experiencing this voice right now? All other experiences, are they not experienced in the same space of experiencing? the movement of our attention, doesn't it happen only within the space of experiencing? Everything in our phenomenal experience happens within us. And by us, I mean within the space of my existence, in the space of my being, which is the one space in which all experiences happen. And don't be in a rush to jump to this conclusion. Don't be in a rush to jump to this conclusion. But as you keep looking, it is inevitable that you will find that this bundle of flesh and blood is just an aspect of my own being. It does not contain me. I contain it. Within my existence, I am. And it is within the same existence I am that all other experiences are also happening. All other phenomena is also experienced, including the primal phenomena of time and space. All happen within my being. As we come more and more to this recognition, we will find more openness to experience anything that this realm has to offer, including the sensations of pain in this body. And in this openness, it is not a promise that the pain goes away, but I feel all of us can testify and say that accepted pain feels a lot easier to handle than resisted pain. As there is acceptance of all sensations, all energetic movement within your being, as there is openness for this world to be as it is, including this body to be as it is, then all of us have found that in this openness, in this acceptance, the pain does not seem as strong and overwhelming as it did when it was met with the concept, this should not be. So, the starting point is this recognition of the enormity of your essence, of your beingness, being without limits, or at least we can say the limits cannot be found. So this is what is, for me, important. What happens in the phenomenal realm about the pain, whether painkillers are taken, or a massage is had, or any pain relief, is completely fine. Allow that movement to happen as it is happening naturally. In our openness, also actions are allowed to happen. In our openness, thoughts are allowed to just come and go. Emotions are allowed to come and linger for as long as they want. And actions are also allowed to unfold without the idea that there is an individual doer of them who has to do something in response. So then we can say that we allow it to unfold on its own, in its own natural way, or we can say that I rely on my intuition to guide me about these things. Actually, it is very similar. What is important is what is my position with respect to my body, with respect to the world. Am I something that exists within this world, or is this world something that exists within me? What defines my limitations? Are they true? One of the popular questions in Satsang is, how do I distinguish between the voice of the mind and the voice of intuition? Very popular. We looked at this question for quite some time. And the longer answer is that the voice of the mind is always trying to get something, trying to grasp at something, is operating in doership, desire, and duality. But the voice of intuition is accompanied by love, peace, joy, and just spaciousness, no rushing. So we can smell this sense of spaciousness about intuition. But there is also a shorter answer. And the shorter answer is that that which tells you that you are limited in any way is the mind. That which tells you that you are bound, you have some boundary or limitation, is the voice of the mind. And that which is constantly pointing you to your unlimited being, unborn, undying essence, that is your intuition.
Father, I think I'll just switch to Wi-Fi. Just
I have a more important question for you. Do you hear what I said? I have a more important
yeah,
question.
Father. Actually, there is absolutely no problem in saying.
Can't hear me.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear? Because I have a very important question for you actually.
Yes, yes. Please tell me, Father. Tell me.
How was Bahubali 2?
Bahubali 2 was good actually. Very good.
How is it that you go for the movie and now you come to Satsang with these questions?
No, no. I've been having no questions. Not at all. Uh, it is just that about this toothache and the oral health.
Yes.
Uh, when when I see everything is happening in my presence, then there is no toothache. I mean, it just vanishes. But as soon as I hit the road and the mind starts engaging in the world, uh, the attention goes to the pain. And now my doctor says that if you cannot part with one tooth, what kind of sadhana you are doing? so, now the thing is that tomorrow there may not be any remedy for the pain.
What did you answer? And the doctor said, what is the point of your sadhana if you can't even part with one pain, one tooth?
So if you could kindly guide me, I mean, what to do?
I was just asking, what did you answer the doctor when he asked you this question?
I said, uh, I'm very afraid to get it extracted. I, I don't have the strength to take it out. Actually, he is saying that the full gum surgery is required.
You get the sense that the doctor is a credible doctor and is trustworthy?
Yeah. Yes.
Then you must
No
follow
doubt
that.
about it.
Then you must follow the advice.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that is what was the dilemma, like whether to flow with whatever is happening, including the remedy, or to bear it. Because Ramakrishna Paramahansa has his own story. Ramana has his own stories, how he's treating the body. Then Yogi Raj Ram Satkumar had his own story. It's all very confusing. How to treat the body.
Everybody's story. It's not very clear. Everyone's story, the story of the phenomenal play is different for every single expression of consciousness, has come with a different story. And if you try to match up and you try to make the right matching and say, okay, this will tell me how to do or what to do, then it's all completely confusing. Because consciousness loves variety. You see, this is one big variety show. No two expressions are ever the same, and no template for anybody's life is ever applicable completely to any other life. We just have to trust our heart or trust our intuition in the present moment. And if some worldly guidance is needed, we can rely on that. And you are blessed to have somebody who's a doctor that is trustworthy and credible. I see no reason to confuse that with all kinds of stories from the past.
Okay, fine, Father. Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste, Ananta-ji.
Namaste, my dear. I hear you. I don't see you yet.
You don't see the face?
Oh, there you are. Hello, my dear.
Hello, Ananta-ji. Hello. So happy to see you again. There was just I want to say something here, and I don't know if it's something. It's a question or not. But 2 weeks ago, I had my appendix removed. So there was a small minor surgery, and I never had anesthesia before, full anesthesia.
Okay.
So there was a lot of fear,
Yes.
and till till the last second, there was this one speaking that with the voice saying that I will cease to exist.
Acha.
Yeah, and I'm watching that, the one speaking that I will cease to exist, and I said, okay, it's going on, and then from 1 second to the next, I was gone, and then after waking up, actually, it turned out to be the most beautiful thing ever. and intuitively, I knew that I have always been there.
Yes.
And that one which was ceased to exist, which is probably is not the true one.
Yes.
So so it was an intuition. I cannot prove it, but somehow it's in the heart that that one which was supposed to be not there, actually that one is the real one which enjoyed.
Yes. Yes.
So, so I'm just trying to actually confirm that that's what you are pointing at.
Yes, my dear. In fact, it's a nice coincidence that just a few days ago, somebody sitting here with me was saying that he was asking about the anesthesia experience.
Yeah.
He said that that is one experience that I have not had in this living experience.
Yeah.
But, and then we had in the room itself, we had 3 or 4 different experiences
Yeah.
of someone. Oh, there was just nothing, and someone said, no, but I was there watching that the body was out. Is it? So all these various experiences, they came.
Yeah.
What I would relate to, because in this life there's been no experience of this anesthesia thing here. What I would relate to is compare it with something like deep sleep or dreamless sleep.
Yeah.
Now it's very funny how the number of people who will tell you that I am not there in deep sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very usual response actually.
Yeah.
I am there in deep sleep.
Yeah.
The question remains, then how do we know that there is something called deep sleep?
Yeah. Because this book, there was a time when I was, the book I Am, that was my like a Bible. I carried it around with me, where Maharaj was talking to this guy. He says, because you don't remember it doesn't mean that you have not been there.
Yes, but also we remember it. Let's look at this very closely before we close today.
Yeah.
Let's look at it very closely. I ask you, and I've been asking everyone here, what time did you wake up this morning?
5:45.
5:45.
Yeah.
What were you doing before 5:45? Or what was there before 5:45?
There was not the conscious feeling of being. I was there, but not conscious of this feeling of being.
Very good. Very good. So if this was not directly experienced, although there is no phenomena to experience,
Yes.
this absence of phenomena is also seen.
Also seen.
Awareness of this absence of phenomena. Otherwise, what you would tell me is that before 5:45, there was 10:15. 10:15 was the time I went to sleep, and suddenly everything disappeared, and suddenly it was 5:45.
Yes.
But that is not our report.
No.
Our report is that I woke up at 5:45. Before that, there was nothing. I was sleeping. I went to So, even in the absence of something, if I switch off the light in this room, in all your rooms, if I switch off the light and there is nothing to hear, there's nothing to see, taste, touch, smell, you see, then would you still exist or no?
Yes, but not phenomenally.
Yes, but even if the sense of existence went away, there must be an I which reports that I am was even not there. Of course, the reporting cannot happen unless am comes back.
Yeah.
The reporting is only a functioning of this phenomenal realm.
Right.
the I is unchanging. That is why we are able to say that there are these four states. Bhagavan can say that there are these four states: waking, sleeping, dream, and turiya. Whatever the states are, there must be I, which is unchanging witness, in front of which or within which we can say these states, they come and go.
So what you are saying is that there is awareness even of the non-being.
Exactly.
So right now there is awareness of the being. In deep sleep,
Yeah.
when there's nothing happening phenomenally, there is an awareness of that. It is the waking state. We sleep, then nothing happened.
Exactly. What I'm saying in another way, more importantly maybe, is that nothing happens to I in spite of the arising of I am and the waking state. You remain the same.
Yeah.
You see? And to see this, then we lose the fear of this waking state. What can happen to I? Nothing, because it is not subject to this waking state. It is just the state which is coming and going with all its activity and drama, including the search for freedom. You see, all of this is coming and going, but the I remains unchanged. And this is the I that Bhagavan said, I removes the I and yet remains the I.
Remains.
What is it that remains irrespective of everything that comes and goes? It is
But
the I.
somehow during the waking state, as I think there's a guy called Isaac Shapiro, there's a the word is the cognition factor, which through the senses, that this body is apparently separate from that body. So my own experience says this body is appearing as equal as an object like any other object in the waking state.
Yes.
And
We must stay with our experience. We must stay with our insight. And that's why in Satsang also I tell everyone that you stay with your insight and see if these words ring true on the basis of your insight. And if you find that they do not resonate, then you come and say, Ananta, you say like this. Why is it? But my experience is different. You see? Because here we're not changing one set of old concepts and replacing them with new concepts. We're replacing old concept with your own insight.
so Anantaji, then when there's a thought like, I have to be just a little bit careful how I put the words here. The thought like I have lost awareness, which is actually not true.
Yes. It is, what you say is precise, but the definition of awareness must be the definition that we use in satsang here. Many people use awareness in a different way, in a phenomenal way.
Yeah.
And that is accurate for that definition. So the problem many times is in the definition of terms. That which we refer to as awareness, capital A awareness, is the unborn, the undying, therefore cannot come and go.
So in deep sleep, there is even awareness that nothing is happening, or it's deep sleep, or I didn't sleep good, I slept great. There's someone knowing that.
Well, it's not a someone.
Yeah, that's the. I have a little bit problem with saying I. Yes,
so this is not a someone in that case. You see, this I.
Yes. It's not personal. Someone.
Yes, not even objective. Really.
No, it's not objective.
It is not that there is a seer. I, as a seer, I'm aware of my sleep. I, as the seeing itself,
Yes.
I'm aware. I, as the awareness itself, I'm aware of my sleep.
And then, so just to again recapitulate, sometimes Muji would say, as he pointed to me the first time when I went to the retreat, that something must be here which is not caught up in the bubble of anything.
Yes.
Here, as I talk with you, as this form talks with that form, there is this something which is not caught up
Yes.
in the bubble, which is the, as you call, the seeing. And it's it's non-phenomenal. It's not, you cannot objectify it.
Yes. Exactly right. Exactly right. So just to see this for ourselves, when I ask the question, are you aware now? Do you see awareness as an object?
What comes is this body. It's very clear that this something is, there's, this body is appearing in this. This is
Yes.
this is an object. The form is an object, but what it's appearing in, it can't be really said what it is.
Yes. But even if the question is asked very quickly, like, are you aware now? And there is no time even to refer to an object, would you say yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. You see? And yet, did you find any evidence phenomenally of this awareness? Did you find the shape of awareness, or the size of awareness, or the color of awareness? You see? Did you find the age of awareness? Did you find any phenomenal attribute? For the
Absolutely not.
not, not. Now, is there anything else that you can say yes to without finding any phenomenal attribute?
This sense of just being.
Yes, that comes very close. But even this we sense as a presence, isn't it?
As a present, even this is something is aware of, even of this.
Primordial phenomena, the root of all phenomena. By itself, it comes very close. And yet, the presence of being, the sense of existence is experienced. For awareness, we cannot even report this. Some teachers say they use a term like aware presence, but that becomes a bit confusing to use. I would say that within this awareness arises this presence of being. But awareness itself is so attributeless, so without quality, that we cannot even say aware presence. The presence itself is our sense of existence. You see? So in sleep state, I'm not experiencing the presence of myself. There is just, it is only myself. It's a bit subtle and dependent on the terminology sometimes.
Yeah.
But you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this one, only for awareness, the recognition of the self, you see, which is completely without quality, and yet it is undeniable. We say yes. So nothing else. Everything else, you have to see it phenomenally to say yes or no. Is there a computer in front of you? You have to see it to answer yes or no. Are you experiencing a thought? If the thought comes, you say yes, mind is here. If there is no thought, you say no mind. But for awareness, you can never say no awareness. Because even to say no awareness means what you're saying is, I am aware that there is no awareness.
Yeah.
So this is unchanging.
And in this, in the waking state, all thoughts, all feelings in the body mind can arise.
Of course.
Tears can come, laughter can come, but there is something which is somehow not touched. You can, from where they're arising from.
Yes, exactly. Everything is allowed to arise. Because everything is the will of consciousness. Not a blade of grass moves unless it is the will of God. Some prefer the word consciousness, being, some prefer God. It's okay. It's not about terminology. Basically, I am. And then the world is. In the light of I am. On the screen of I am. So I am the source of this world. And I am where this world will dissolve. Everything, including this body, is part of this world. A more practical thing to tell you is that if I say the world is running effortlessly, most of us in Satsang will agree with that. You see? But I say, no, now you include your body as part of the world. Okay. So you include your body as part of the world. You see, then the doership question just dissolves.
Yeah.
Body is allowed to move in its own way, just like these words are coming out on their own. The hearing of these words is happening on its own.
Yeah.
So the entire world is moving effortlessly. Even the sense of seeming effort is coming effortlessly in the light of our presence.
So in the waking state, the thoughts like, okay, I have to do this and I have to do that. I have to go here, meet this one, or even judgments
Yeah.
are actually all really happening. You can't even stop judging. It's just it goes on, isn't it? This is my
Let's look closely at this.
yeah.
Okay. What is happening is that we see that in all our discussion today, we saw that there is awareness which is aware of itself and aware of its presence, presence of being. Hmm? Now, within this presence, all of this phenomenal movement is happening. One of the phenomenal movements is this energy construct called thoughts.
Yes.
Now, consciousness, as the player of this game, has given itself two powers, the power of attention and the power of belief. As it uses the power of belief, it creates a false identity for itself because it wants to play this game personally. When it is done with playing this game personally, it starts playing the withdrawing of belief from these thoughts, which sell to itself that it is something limited.
Mm.
You see? So, as we are coming to satsang, we often hear this advice that don't believe what your thoughts are saying. Don't go along with these thoughts. Who is this person? This is consciousness which has set an alarm clock for itself, saying, don't believe your thoughts, or don't go with what your thoughts are saying, or don't identify.
Yeah.
The only way to identify is to believe your thoughts. So it is consciousness which played the game of deluding itself, playing personally. And now consciousness coming out of the play of this delusion through these means of satsang, inquiry, sadhana, whatever means it is applying. No person has been born, you see.
Yes.
In none of this, we said now the person is born and now the person must die. You see, the
Yeah.
person is the belief. And it is gone already, unless reinforced with a fresh belief now.
Then there's how to say, even to stop identifying, there's even then you actually what my own please if you find some trick of the mind, please point out. Ananta ji,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes, my dear, I can. I'm just saying now, even in this report, are you referring to yourself as something limited or unlimited?
I'm trying to clarify something within the person actually.
Yes, but is that a, a perspective with any reality to it?
Not really.
See, so it's important just to see this, because even in a sincere question,
Yeah.
the mind can tell us the story of our limited existence, which is never a reality. Is it not fair enough, logical, even scientific to say, let us take the perspective of a limited entity only if we see that there is such a limited entity? The only limited object that we relate to ourselves is this body. But this body doesn't have this question.
No.
The body doesn't want freedom also. The body is free, right?
It's,
It's an instrument, neither bound nor free.
it's actually it all when I am the body, this idea starts to fit.
Now you see that in every idea, in most ideas of the mind, inherent is this idea that I am a limited entity.
Yeah. Anantaji, this I've come again and again to this point. This is the root of I am the body idea. This is the root of when we check in into this phenomenal.
Yes, but right now this idea is gone. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. If you give yourself time to bring it back and think about it, it can come back.
Yeah, of course it's
Now, do you want to play the game of picking up the idea over and over again and dropping it? Or just you want to see right now that it's not here actually. It is just another idea. This idea always gets me.
and which me it gets anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, because every time, as Mujiji would say, every time the one that speaks, it speaks as a person. It never speaks as non-phenomenal. It's the very voice of this one is limited.
You mean when the questioner asks the question?
Yeah, whenever that one, what I refer as the false I speaks, it always speaks to,
That
I
is
want to say
the
to me, which is, of course, I can't show, but as a person.
that is the design of the mind. You see, it is the job of this narrator to convince you that you are this character within this game.
Yeah.
You see, so it is only doing its job. When consciousness is done with the game, it automatically starts to come to satsang, play the game of coming to satsang, to withdraw its belief from its limited idea of itself. There is no limited self. You see, the phrase itself is an oxymoron.
And then there's listening to long time. There was a time when I was really into Ramesh Balsakarji. There was a book from his called "Your Head in the Tiger's Mouth," I think. So where he's talking about, so then how to live your waking state. Then he says, do what you need to do. Then the question of the intuition and intelligent action, or he says then lock your car, for example, when you go somewhere. Then you see what I'm trying to. Then how to, because there's this idea to live open and all that, but then things will happen as they happen. Then the thing of doer, being the one who is living the so-called my life.
Yes, yes. I can understand a little bit of what you're saying. I went to Ramesh also a few years before I met Guruji.
Yeah,
Something I want to point out to you.
yeah,
Suppose the idea is that I am this box of mint.
yeah.
You see? Then, is this box of mint green? Yes. Is it also white? Yes. You see? Is it the doer? No. You see? Is it the non-doer? Yes, it cannot do anything. You see? What I am saying is that there is no box of mint that you are. See, the I which is limited, which could be either the doer or the not doer, is not what you are. There is no such limited I. See? So, because
But there is an apparent I, which is phenomenal, which does things in the waking state.
the I that is phenomenal, or the root of all phenomena itself, from which all phenomena come, is only the I am. Everything after that is a pretense. No person has ever been born, even in the phenomenal realm. In fact, you know this, that I have for 4 years now promised $1,000 award for anyone who shows me the person.
I understand it in my heart. I'm using these words intuitively because there was a very clear seeing that this what I am has never really been born.
Yes.
And yes. But what the only clarification is, for example, so I can only say, but I have to use the word I here, that I woke up, I went to the shop, I did this, I did that, knowing well that
Yes.
I never did anything.
Yes. Please continue to be natural in your worldly expression. I don't want you to be going to restaurants saying I as awareness, now playing as consciousness, pretending to be Sachin, now pretending to be affected by the body, is
Yeah.
a temptation to eat some pasta. Very natural expression. No, consciousness has no trouble playing any role. So you see, it can completely play all the roles very naturally as it has to, and all the words can come appropriately according to that situation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all so very much for beautiful satsang today. Thank you for being in satsang today. Sadguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Yeah.
Jai. Jai.